What we played before I introduced you was it Rhythm of Gods?
Yes, that was my last album.
Okay.
Rhythm of the Gods, basically ROG,
Okay.
was in partner with Boom Play.
Boom Play.
Yes,
Okay.
so that album basically, we just thought, for a long time I've been doing a lot of stuff for dancehall mainly, and I hadn't really done much for other genres. So we just saw the future of some young cats coming.
Right.
Back then, I think Jamal hadn't even blown his what's that his big hit.
With Calligraph?
No, Jamal's main single. What's the title of it? Is it Ekoso or something?
Ekoso.
Like that song hadn't even come out.
Right.
Majority of them hadn't even blown itself yet. But the idea was to be able to see the next big stars coming. And then create a platform
for them
and put them on. So that whole tape was finest young hip-hop cats around. And then we send mails to them, send them the beat. And then they did their magic and sent it back to us. And then that was it.
Great. Let's go to the main thing we're talking about today.
Okay.
With respect to being lyrical content.
Okay.
Where from, if we look at a decade ago and now, lyrical content of artists, how do you, being a producer, having done it for years, see it?
You know, there's actually a disease that if you're not careful, you could just catch in regards to this question. You see, the beauty of art is such that it's every dispensation and what we paint or write about.
Okay.
So, for instance, our old folks say, in our time, we were listening to Kool and the Gang and name all these people. And trust me, when you listen to what Kool and the Gang used to say at that time, it was relatively in connection with what was happening within their era.
Okay.
Now, when you look at the eras of, let's say, the Obrafos, Lord Kenya, what was happening within that time was what they were saying. Then came the era of the Sarkoders, the ELs, the Edems, also what they were talking about. As an artist, your environment is what you preach about. And sometimes images you paint in your head. Now, so if I decide to compare my time now to, let's say, the Zamalek's time in terms of lyrical content, as you're saying, I'll be doing myself or my listeners a disfavor in the sense that they were never there in the 90s to know the energy that was around then. The political conversation, the social conversations that those people picked together to create their music. They are in my era now. When all the jargons and terms and events that are happening are what we are piecing together to create. So if I decide to compare them, whereas the listener was not alive then to know, I will not be helping him. So what I would prefer to say is that every generation and what they talk about. Now, soon, in 10, 20 years' time, you'll be playing Jackie and Miss V as the old school. Can you imagine? As your old school. Whereas now, when you listen to radio and they're playing old school, they play like 30, 40 years ago songs. So clearly, we need to be careful not to do too much comparisons, because we will lose the real essence of that time and now. But, I mean, to narrow it down, I think it's great. We are, this time and the past time, everybody is doing very great. It's just that there's more room for it to get better. That's it.
So why is it then that most of the songs now or currently, it's on rotation for a while,
then it
dies goes
off.
Down the drain.
Yeah.
As compared to before.
I'll show you why. So back then, how many artists were available on the shelves back then? And back then, there was no access to internet. Your only access to entertainment was radio or the pub or your cassette small ghetto system at home. But now, as we are seated here, let Jay-Z or whoever drop his latest, just on your phone, you get it. Okay. So it has increased the volume of creative acts, content that weekly or monthly comes out. Right. So giving the listener the luxury of, I won't spend so much time with this when there's another one again. And they are all at the same price. If you remember back then, when, let's say, Lord Kenya dropped, we were in a hurry to go and buy the tape. Yeah. And then if you don't have it, we used to do this TDK, we'll be recording from radio to, and all of that. Now you don't, would you even bother to buy that? You have all of that easily on your phone. Yeah. So now, if you ask me, how come that the gestation period or the lifespan of content now is very short? Yeah. One of the reasons is because we are in a fast food age where we produce stuff on the go daily. So after tasting burger, by 4 o'clock, somebody says he has done something quantum burger. Try it and see. Right. Then there's another knocking on your door. Oh, there's this other type of burger. There's a Chinese burger. They said, I said, you are sportive choice. Right. So as a consumer, what is limiting you from, okay, mami, that's what is making it close. Because if you're a presenter, for instance, what then it means is that within the space of a week or a month, you have a lot of artists whose new songs are out. And you need to bring all of them here. Whereas back then, one person who is ruling can come twice within the space of 1 month because he's on top of the chart. Now, you can be on top of the chart within the next 2-3 days. You've been kicked off there. You understand? So these are some of the reasons why. And the major reason is also as a fact that we are actually on the fast food lane. Okay. Nothing stays on the shelf for far too long. You might be trending in the morning. By 24 hours time, somebody else has taken over the trend and we are done with you. What happens is that, how are you able to, while the trend was on you, how were you able to grow your audience and feed them so that they stay loyal to you? Another good thing that is happening you may not know. You may not be hearing a particular song on radio every day, but when that artist pop up having his own tour or show, you'll be shocked at attendance. Because now, once I know I like Basil TV or CTV, I don't bother turning the channels for any other channel again. I'm glued there. Back then, how many channels were there? You can count the number of channels that were available. So then, what were your choices? You were limited. Basically, you were just limited.
Who owns rights or ownership of that song?
Okay, so let me make it simple for you. Yeah. Lonely came out of my album, a compilation. Okay. As you know, producers produce beats and then put artists on and feature them and then put them. That's the whole thing. It wasn't only JAHLEAD. There were the likes of Aquabra, Chameleon, Jupiter, name all these guys. A lot of them. A lot of them. The beauty of it is that we've been doing rhythms. And normally rhythm is Jamaican culture thing where we take dancehall beats, one particular beat, different artists. It's supposed to cut costs in terms of promo, help young and up-and-coming artists. Because once the beat is blown, once the DJ start playing, he'll play every other person's version. If you remember, the first time Stonebwoy had his biggest break was through the same kind of a thing called Hills and Valley. That was his first one on my first rhythm called Trigger Rhythm. That same one had Samini and all those people. So it was another version, but we just felt out. They be a Muyama dance off Mufambra, like the singers they are way too. So we pick all those people. And JAHLEAD has been a brother and a friend from way back. So of course he's also part of the high grade as at that time. So there was no way JMJ would be doing a rhythm and then putting all this. So that's, and he was very hardworking. His version blew, and we pushed it. Okay, so
the Lonely song particular, it doesn't belong to...
how would you take Lonely out of the whole compilation? Because you seems to be your concern is about that particular song.
So you hold,
so if
I want to if what?
If the whole album features
whole lot of artists,
why do you just handpick one and say that one who does it belong? So that one was not part of the album?
Okay. No, it was part of the album.
Okay.
Okay, so I want to play something for you to listen to.
Okay.
I want to play something for you to listen to.
I know exactly what you're trying to say. There's been issues about him saying that his version, he had issues with me and all of that.
No. He was here.
Okay.
And I want you to listen to
what he said.
What he said.
Okay.
Then we'll know
we'll
because
take it from there.
we'll take it from there.
Okay.
There was a controversy around this particular song as to who owns the ownership or ownership to the song.
Yeah.
How has that got into?
Well, so far so good. You know how Ghanaians go. Like, I mean, we quietly let it slide, and then we move on to the next stage. Well, basically, I have the rights to the how you call it, the video.
Right.
Because the video was shot by Bonamonte, who moved from Paris, France to Ghana to shoot this particular video.
Right.
So part was shot in Ghana, part was shot in Paris.
Okay.
And so definitely the producer cannot say it's his.
Yeah.
First, I was filed how you call it, copyright, and I'm like, I'm going to file my copyright for my own song. So we had to go back and forth, and now I have the right to that. I mean, it's on my YouTube channel, and it's pretty doing well, like 150,000 views organically, not boosted, nothing done to it, and people are still loving it. Like, you see the comments there, over 50, 70 comments, and they are all positive.
Right.
So we feel blessed, yes. I mean, I think these things have solved itself. Zeros will cancel out, and when the time for me to go to Jam Master, I go there anytime I want.
He's not reached out to you. You have also not reached out.
Well, I call him anytime I want. Like, I just call him anytime.
When was the last time you spoke?
Somewhere
we're
last
not
year.
on that.
Somewhere last year. But honestly, I've made other people call him the fact charts. And, I mean, everything is okay. After all, what can you do to man? Larry, I'll tell you one thing.
Tell me.
You see, in this industry, when your own age mates are playing big bosses, like, because they had a name before, so they should be regarded as bra penny or something. That thing should be demystified. I mean, we all have creative minds. We all have technicalities. If you bring your creative mind and I bring my creative mind, then you don't quote me and say, I should own this. Because there's two energies coming together to formulate whatever that has been created. Test and proving, it wasn't just me alone on Lonely. There was 7 of us. Aqua Boys on it, Jupiter, Episode, Chameleon. We were 7 that did different songs to the same beat. So the question comes back again. Why am I, after 2 years, still pushing up?
No issue.
And then,
so zeros will cancel out. JMJ, listening to your man, you know he claims ownership to Lonely.
You skip. There was something he said. He said, video owned by him, shot by. Because you can't own my beat.
Okay.
But he clearly said that the video was shot by him.
Okay.
So when they were loading it, they were having cancellations.
Yeah, that's what copyright.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
So because he owns the video goes to him, because I didn't finance shooting of the video.
Okay.
Do you get it?
Yeah.
I think that's the clarity that you missed.
Okay.
What you asked him about the song.
Yeah.
And then he ended up answering the video.
Okay.
You were expecting him to say, I own the song. And then he told you that the video was shot part in Ghana, part in Paris or something like that. So when they were loading it, they were having issues.
Okay.
And then they needed...
So if I should understand you, or the consumer should understand you, the video belongs to JAHLEAD.
Because he shot
but the song
like he clearly said, how many people were featured on the song?
He mentioned the name.
7.
Yeah.
So all of that also belongs to him. Okay. No. I think the whole... I don't get it, but then it looks like you are trying to fish something that I don't know where it is, so that I could just give it to you, so you get satisfied.
You see, there was speculations
before
he came here. Before he came here.
And then did he clarify that?
You were here, and it was between you and him. So the question I'm asking,
I think he did.
He did.
He did.
Okay, so
he said
the
that
song,
he owns the video,
but you own the song.
Exactly.
Okay, that's it.
Exactly. But wait, let me ask you a question.
Ask me, boss.
how do artists own a song? Let's even forget about me. You walk into a studio. Your compositions are in your head.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Your lyrics and the melody.
Right.
A producer also puts instrumental melodies together.
Right.
And then there's always a combination of both the lyrics and the instrumental to form what? A song.
Right.
And when that happens, it's splitted between the producer and the artist.
Yeah.
That has always been the standard.
Right. So the JAHLEAD conversation, what actually happened was there were speculations that as to who owned the song, and it brought some rift or something between you and him.
Me and him.
Yeah. So when he came here, he's been a brother.
So
He's been a senior brother.
You wanted
so
him
I
to
just
clarify.
Yes. And then he said what he said.
That's
being a senior
point.
brother as well, when you came over here, or you're here now, I need to also play the video and then listen to your point of view to what JAHLEAD said.
It makes
Basically,
sense.
that's it.
It makes sense. I mean, I think it's part of the industry, and clarity should always be sought when people have doubts and all of that. But if there was even any issue, I think the management decided that we're going to give him his right to be able to, because the rest of the other people didn't do videos where they could go and promote their video.
Right.
But if he shot a video and he has to load it, you know, when you load a song, there's visuals and then there's audio. And you need clarity, you need to be cleared for both the visuals and the audio. So if you don't have that, they will kick you out.
Right.
You understand? That's just what happened.
Yeah. What's up with you and KAAKIE?
KAAKIE is in the States, married, practicing nursing. One of her favorite calling is nursing.
Okay.
So she's in America. She's a mother now. And practicing nursing with the family.
There's this thing that's out, or news that's out, that there was a clause in a contract you signed with her that has held her captive, like when she decided to go off your label, she can't.
When she left, she even dropped a song.
Okay.
It's just unfortunate that it
didn't
blow.
Okay.
So I don't know. You see, one of the things I do is I don't like talking. So it gives room for speculations. That whole KAAKIE conversation, I never granted any.
So today, can you really make us
know?
Because there's this notion that because of the clause in the contract you signed.
I want them to show me the clause so that I can answer. Because until then, I don't know what clause. That's why I just reminded you that the girl actually dropped a song when she left.
Okay.
It just happened that it didn't blow.
Yeah.
As to why it didn't blow and how not, only God knows why. So I want somebody who has a copy of the contract and can quote wherever
the
clause is talking about. Then I can, but without that, I'll just be answering to people's speculation.
Master J in the studio right now, ladies and gentlemen, clarifying one or twos for us with respect to the lonely bed, and you heard it for yourself. I wish I could pick a call or two, but I'm pressed for time. We'll have to bounce out of the studio. I just want to say big thanks going out to yourself, JMJ.
Thank you.
All these years you've been producing, my last question. What's been your difficult moment as a producer?
That's something difficult moment regarding work outside.
Your work.
I think it wouldn't be difficult, it would be challenging. It would be more like difficult, very challenging. It would be the fact that there's so much sitting on almost every producer's studio right now as we speak, but the world or the public won't get a chance to listen to all.
Why?
Yes, because it takes funds to put works out.
So right now, if it takes funds, how much, for instance, renowned producer like yourself, somebody would want to invest in you so that whatever songs you have
should come out?
How much roughly?
It would depend.
Give me like a rough estimate so that we know.
The reason I'm saying it would depend is, you see, if you take one song and then the target is within Ghana, the budget is different. When you have a target of Africa, which means that you are working with other marketing people, the budget also
but your
becomes
challenging
different.
moment ever since it's been funds.
Yes. And that has to do with funds.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking you. So, like on a rough estimate now.
Back then, it was Ghana.
Okay.
Now, the world has become so small that when you're marketing, you don't think about only Ghana.
So we're looking at you, Master J, pushing your works or your material across the shores. How much are we looking at?
I would have to put a proper figure to it so I don't exaggerate.
We just wanted a rough estimate so that we know.
Nothing less than $100,000.
$100,000.
Yes, nothing less than that.
Okay.
That's if the product is so dope that with just a little push.
Okay. Okay. What's new for you before? That's my last question. I'm not asking.
You promised.
Yeah. That's my last question.
Okay.
What's new for you? What are you working on now? That will bounce out. You drop
let us be in suspense. Soon, you
something
guys will hear something new again.
Once it's ready, you come through.
You know how we do it.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up, bro.
I would always.
Thank you so very much for coming through.
Thank you so much
for educating me, and of course one or two people over there.
It's a pleasure.
That's how it's supposed to be. Your number or your social media handles, then we bounce. That's your camera over there.
Yes, I'd rather do the social media handles. At JMJ, GH, both Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
Yep. Right, bro. Yep. More grease to your elbows. Thank you so very much for everything you've done for Ghana music and, of course, every other musician who might not even be a Ghanaian. Ladies and gentlemen, we're bouncing out of the studio. I've had a rollicking session with Bernice Ansah, Christian gospel sensation, right now with my boss and my brother man, John Master J. He's worked with a whole lot of top or alias artists over here inside of GH and beyond. Until I come your way on Thursday with somebody different or a star different, live the life you love the life you live. Never ever let another man's opinion be the opinion of you. But if you need a producer to help you out, there's the only one producer on the continent I reach out for is Jam Master J. Peace.